Hey there, my friend. I'm going to share with you some stories today because this past week I became really aware of some manifestation moments. We're always manifesting, whether we're really aware of it or not. And I've got some great examples today that can really tie into the health and fitness stuff, even though some of these stories are not about health and fitness. But before we get into all that, I do want to say welcome to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing you rapid results in mindset and fitness so that you can recharge that battery of yours. And I'm talking about your mental and physical battery and reclaim your power. And before we get into this amazing stuff, I want to encourage you to go over to talktoperry.com, get on my calendar, absolutely free, because I want to chat with you. I mean, it's all about keeping that energy high so that you can reach all your goals. I mean, how would your life look different if your mental and physical battery is running at 100% every single day? Wow. I mean, you could accomplish a lot, right? So anyway, that's over at talktoperry.com. We do that in 15 minutes. So these stories today, I was just like, wow. As they revealed themselves to me or people told me about them, I was like, wow, this could really tie into some of the goals that you want to achieve for your health and fitness. So one example, I have a friend. I was on a call, a client of mine. I was on a call with her yesterday, and she was flying back from Miami, and before, as the plane is about to take off, or she's kind of just like in a little visualization moment, maybe about to go and take a little nap, and she was like, you know what, I'd really like to go to New York this week. And she lives in Massachusetts. So I'd really love to jump on a train, go to New York, see the sights, meet up with some of my clients. And that was what she wanted. And everything started clicking into place for her. She's like, she books a time. People say they can meet with her. And here she was. She was all set. And the night before, she could go on to her Uber app and book a ride to get to the train station. It's about 20 miles away, and wanted to make sure, because she didn't know if Uber drivers would be around right then in the morning. She had to take off early in the morning. So here she is. And then the Uber app wasn't working, or, the booking thing. And it was coming up with errors. And I think the internet crashed on her. And she'd become really frustrated. And the self-doubt whether this trip was going to happen. And so nothing seemed to click. Does she bail on this? Should she call somebody to wake up early and give her a ride? So she's talking with her husband about this, and maybe doing a little whining and complaining. I don't know. And he calls her out on it because he's like, you were so in alignment to make this trip happen. You were very clear on what you wanted. And that's the key with manifesting. I mean, you're putting the positive thoughts, the things that you desire, with clear intention. And then the universe, receives that, and some pretty awesome things happen, whether it's your wealth, your happiness, relationships, fitness, finances, stuff like that. And so he calls her out on it. And so she started visualizing, what would she love? I would love this to all work out. I would love the Uber driver coming. And she didn't say, I would love this, but I don't want to have the worry with it, because now you're saying, well, maybe I desire some worry. So she got back into alignment, and within like moments, I don't know, maybe minutes or something, she gets an email. Uber is confirmed. Pick you up this time in the morning. And it was just like one of those things. So she shared that with me, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that reminded me of something that happened with Hillary and I. We both flew to Wisconsin this past week, celebrate my mom's 80th birthday. And here we were, we were trying to figure out how we're going to fly there, where we're going to go through. The flights were booked going through Minneapolis, and we're like, well, maybe we should do through Chicago. Maybe we should go through Denver. And so we found some flights that we could do through Chicago to get us into the city in Wisconsin that we needed. And both of us went into our imagination. You know what? We would say, you know what I'd love? I would love to be upgraded to first class. Now, each of us flew at different times. I flew on a Thursday. She flew on a Friday. On my way there, I got upgraded to first class. amazing. I mean, it just is totally awesome. The very next day, Hillary goes fly out, full intention that she was going to get upgraded to first class. Very clear on that. It didn't happen. She was in a different spot in the plane. And so she told me she was a bit disappointed about that, but on the way back, got a lot in alignment with her intentions. First class on the way back home. How cool is that? So it works that way. And then I'm on a call with a lady yesterday, another client, and she was telling me, I think her license expired, or she had moved from out of state, and there's like this gap in time where you have to go and update your plates and all that stuff. Otherwise, you get a fine. So as she's driving with these out-of-date plates, she sees like a police officer like 5 lanes over, and she's like, "Oh gosh, hope nobody notices that I'm driving this." I think she says it to her daughter, and she goes, "Wouldn't you know? Just out of clear blue, all of a sudden I've got sirens going off behind me, pulling me over, giving me a ticket for not having those plates." She goes, "I totally manifested that, so you can focus on what you don't want, right? You can attract that." And so, and another one, my wife was telling me about this makeup story, makeup for your face and stuff. She'd been watching a Facebook Live, and this lady was doing a live, and as she was doing it, she was putting on makeup. And I think, I know I won't have the story totally dialed in here, but to the effect that Hillary was saying something like, "Oh gosh, I'd love to be able to put on makeup that way. It's been a while since I've done makeup. I wonder if I lost my touch, or I'd love a little refresher course of some sort." It was something to that effect. And that's one night. The very next day, she gets a phone call, and she saw the numbers. She was like, probably scam or somebody I don't know. Maybe I'll let it go to voicemail. But she decided to answer it. And it's a worker at the Estee Lauder counter at Macy's calling her up and saying, "Hey, on Friday and Saturday, we're doing a makeup clinic. Thought that might be something you'd be interested in. Just wanted to let you know." And Hillary was like, that wasn't anything that she had been researching or anything like that. It's just like the universe is listening. Maybe it's like Siri. But so that was really, really cool. And there was one other one that I heard when I was on a training. A lady that was it was like a manifestation retreat. I don't think it was officially manifestation, but manifesting. And there was the retreat that she was on. And it was kind of like stepping into your next level self. And I think one of the exercises is like, what would you love? What would you love, either to be doing or who you're stepping into or whatever. And this lady's like, "I want to be a realtor for luxury homes all over the world." It might even been luxury beach homes. I don't remember exactly. But as she was leaving that retreat, she discovered that they were on like kind of a private island. I don't know if it was a private island, but there were 2 mansions on this island, and the retreat, everybody stayed between these 2 mansions. She learns that these 2 mansions are about to come up for sale, and she became the realtor of those mansions. Just thought it's like, I make this declaration, it is so, and boom, it was happening. So it was just some of those things that really became aware, and you might be listening and going, "Oh, that's totally coincidental." I don't believe that. I believe that when we get intentional and very, very clear of what we want, things shift in our world to make that happen. A lot of times people they're looking at, how can I do this? That lady could have gone, I don't know how to be a realtor for luxury beach houses. And really get herself in a paralysis by analysis state and never move forward and feel like, "Oh gosh, that's not me. I can't do that." And get bogged down in that how. When she's the one, that's the how. She's like, "This is me. This is it." And things shift. Getting clear on what you would love at that end result. Okay? Focusing and being persistent in your mind and feeling confident that it's done. And so that's what I think of when I coach clients and we start working on health and fitness transformation. Because until until we get this little paradigm shift, or this story, these habits and things that you've just kind of grown up with or they've accrued over the years of why things won't work. It may be, why you would be skeptical and say, oh, that's just coincidence. Because you get programmed a certain way. And so we work, when it comes to health and fitness, a lot of times people start and stop because they haven't stepped into who they need to become, or who they need to be now to get to that next level. So there's always this 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month into it, and then going back into old ways, old habits, comfort zone, right? So there's ways to reprogram your mind. And when you're doing this stuff, things manifest, things come to you faster. Using things like visualization, journaling, affirmations. Now, when it comes to health and fitness stuff and other things, you've got to take action. You got to put those things in there. It's not like, I think that was one of the things they talked about or people talked about with The Secret, that movie that was out years ago. It was a book. Was just like, you think it into existence, but sometimes there's some work that needs to be done to make that happen, and that's health and fitness stuff. But when you start being and acting and doing the habits of what that ideal vision of yourself that you want to be, that you come to that a lot faster. You're not always trying to maybe someday hopefully get there. It will come to you. You're having a growth mindset, as opposed to a fixed mindset. You're not going back to old ways. As a matter of fact, when you step into that next level, there'll be a new comfort zone and new things to go after. So being healthy, it starts in the mind. And a lot of people don't really start there. They kind of avoid that. I don't want to think it. I don't want to think these things. I just want to tell me what to do, and I'll do it. Yet, at the moment that there's some sort of uncomfortability or a potential escape hatch or a distraction, that's where our mind goes, and we still don't focus on where we need to go with our goal because we haven't shifted our mindset about it. So defining your why, that's a very, very important thing. Why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to get in shape? Why do you want to have great health? What's it going to do for you at that ideal weight, or whatever it is that you desire? And you're fixing in your mind the exact results that you have. You're thinking like an Olympian or an athlete or a musician or a performer going on stage, just getting in to and visualizing the routine, at that size. And I help my clients do guided visualization stuff. And I think it's really important. Sometimes we overload ourselves with all these things we need to do, and we get overwhelmed. And we're choosing to be overwhelmed. A lot of times people are just saying, "Oh gosh, I'm so busy," and then we want to gravitate to, then the manifestation comes and says, "Yes, let's continue to make you busy." But when you choose to take control, that outer world starts to conform for you, and it works on you in your behalf, as opposed to, and then you're not blaming things because it's all you. You get to design it. Choosing one goal to start at a time. Maybe it's just showing up for your workout. My goal is, and that's what mine was. When I first started, yes, I had the weight routine and the cardio and stuff like that, but my main goal wasn't to see that number go down on the scale. My main goal was to show up in the room and go through the motions of exercise. My main goal was to string together 90 days straight. And what I learned along the way is it doesn't end at the 90 days, because there is a day 92, 93, 94. It keeps going. And you need to have a plan that way. Keep going forward. So ditching that all or nothing mindset, getting super consistent each day and showing up, and fueling your subconscious mind, reprogramming your mind with those positive intentions, the positive actions, and believing that you can do it, believing that you can achieve that. That's another big part of it. And a lot of times when people don't have that belief in it, that's usually because a paradigm of some sort is coming in and trying to sabotage it, trying to take over. But you've got the control to flip that switch, believing that you're unstoppable. When you decide, you make that decision, I'm I'm going to stop believing this. I'm going to choose to believe this. And I'm going to choose to behave this way. And, at the beginning, your body might resist a few things, might creep in some self-doubt stuff, just like my friend who had the Uber incident. But your desire to change has got to be more powerful than your desire to stay the same, right? Or your desire to quit, or your desire to look for the quick. I keep calling these things escape hatches because that's what a lot of times people are just like, I'm looking for a reason of why it won't work for me, and then I can go back to old ways and then point the finger and blame it on something. When you're not taking the responsibility, you got to go inside. Okay, now a lot of times it's inside here, but it's inside here too. When you face challenges, you're looking at challenges as opportunities to learn and grow and keep moving forward. It's convincing yourself to be disciplined. You got to put in some work when it's exercise stuff. And things get better and things improve. And I know a lot of times when you're just getting started, there's this urge to resist, this urge to say, oh, I don't want to track. Oh, I don't want to count calories. I don't want to keep track of my food. I don't want to do these things. And become aware of those things. There are ways to work around that as long as you're persistent in your pursuit of the goal. So that's it's leaving your comfort zone and pursuing to that next level self and reminding yourself of your why, using post-it notes around, using some sort of visualization, getting some sort of mindset routine on the goals you want. And this can apply not only to health and fitness, it can apply to other things in your life. My friend Judy, when she was working on her health and fitness, she just focused on the next 2 pounds, the next 2 pounds, the next 2 pounds. She was 320 pounds looking to get to 120. And for many of us, we might say, oh my gosh, that's such an overwhelming thing. Just give yourself credit for 40. You lost 40 pounds, you lost 50 pounds. She called herself the queen of the lost and found department because she would lose the weight and find the weight, lose the weight and find the weight. This time she's like, no, this is it. This is my goal. And I don't care how long it takes me to get there, but I'm still going to reach that goal. Next 2 pounds, next 2 pounds. And yes, she did. I think it was about maybe 2 years in the making. Might have been a little bit longer that she reached her goal. And she's maintained that. She became a new level self of her. She didn't get there and arrive and say, now I can go back to comfort zone. It's using her affirmations or journaling or visualization, giving yourself self-love. I appreciate my body. I love myself. Each time I exercise, I get stronger and stronger. Looking at the mirror as you're going by and giving yourself, blessings and positive affirmations. Maybe making use of vision boards. Getting into that feeling of where you're wanting to go next and putting emotion behind it. One of my friends, she started buying clothing at smaller size. Now, some of you would have been like, oh my gosh, that's a waste of money. What if you never get there? That did not enter her mind. There is no what if I don't get there. It is I'm persisting until I get there. Those are my clothes. They're right there. They will be mine. And when she did that, I think it was maybe a matter of 40 days later, she was fitting into them, So the purpose of all this is to get your mind to believe that it has arrived. There is no question. There is no escape hatch. Not when you have a clear intention of where you're going and what you desire. Because if you're looking for escape hatches, the manifestation is going to work in your favor that way. It's going to give you an escape hatch. It's going to make that police officer appear right behind your car, right? So you can make use of things like tracking sheets and the exercise stuff, but it's going inside first, right? It's making that declaration, writing it down, reading it twice a day, surrounding yourself with positive people, creating a definite plan, putting it into action. So, and I get it. Life gets busy, and that's why I tell people, hop on a call with me. I call it a recharge call because a lot of us, we're like a 6-year-old battery, a 6-year-old iPhone, 5% battery life, no charger in sight, and yet we want to open another app. See, we keep saying we're busy, and the life keeps making us busier because we keep telling ourselves that story. So I want to hear what struggles you're going through. I want to hear what your goals are. And I'll tell you within 15 minutes of us talking together which direction is going to be the best for you, where you're going to get the biggest results from, so that you can recharge that battery of yours and reclaim your power and take control. And I'll give you 3 strategies on how you can boost your energy, reclaim your time, and make you the priority, right? So that's over at talktoperry.com is where my calendar is at. Just write these things down and start reprogramming your mind, reading it over. If you write it over and over and over, you're reprogramming your mind, especially if you're getting into the feeling of it. You know, I will lose 10 pounds by February 10th, doing strength training and hit cardio, limit my sugar intake to under 30 grams, and primarily focus on nutrient-dense foods, drinking 96 ounces of water a day. You know, a clear statement like that. Not, I will lose some weight and get in shape. Not very clear. Kind of foggy. How will you know? It's reading that aloud all the time. So it's getting clear on how you feel, removing the blocks, and using visualization, going into your imagination. You know, once you've decided, then your goal is going to come to you all that much faster. And it's coming to you. You're not going to it. It's coming back to you. And apply these strategies. So, I mean, just know you can choose to use your power and take control, or you can let the excuses, the alibis, all the other things, the claiming that you're busy, and the justifications control you and drain your power. And it's really boiling down to deciding and committing to yourself and your goals, being persistent toward them, using manifestation, and choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. Hey, drop your favorite takeaways in the comment section. I would love to have a chat with you, and I do respond to those comments, and just want to let you know that you absolutely rock, my friend. I hope this year is going well for you, and as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in, and remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, you know, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to UpsideDownFit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.